Cheapest, most effective pre-workout on the market, okay? 5 grams of this guy, 6 to 9 grams of this guy. And this is only like 20 bucks, stimulant free, and it works amazing. All right, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. It is Friday, around 5:30 right now, and we're gonna go hit a workout. Today, I've been busy basically up until now. Got to work, did a variety of different cases today. What else is there to say? Went to work, came home, drank a Monster. One thing that I should say is I haven't ate the best today. And when I say haven't ate the best, it's not like I've been eating unhealthy foods. It's just that I haven't eaten enough. Haven't gotten enough protein. Probably should have ate something before going to the gym. But I don't really like working out on a full stomach. I like working out fasted, preferably. But obviously I'm not fasted since I've had, some food already today. But that's fine, Gonna be a little light, which makes body weight exercises more fun, right? You feel stronger generally. So the thing that's kind of messing with me is I got basketball for the next 5 weeks every Monday, and I'm a pretty competitive person, so I want to go and win those games, obviously. And in order to be able to shoot a basketball, I can't really be hitting chest or arms and have any of those body parts be sore going into the game. So tonight is Friday, gonna go do a full body workout, and I don't know, I feel like full body workouts are pretty underrated. I really enjoy them. That dude is flying on a motorcycle right now. Yeah, ran the red light too. What a savage. So yeah, really just going to get some exercise in, right? We're gonna go do a full body workout, and then we're gonna go hop in the sauna, steam room, and I actually don't think I'm gonna swim. I was thinking about swimming earlier today, but that just sounds like it's gonna end up being too long of a workout, and I still wanna be able to do something tonight. So I'm not going to edit this video tonight. I'll probably edit it sometime tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon-ish, which will be the start to my Saturday. And that'll be that. So for the next 2 hours, I'm gonna hang out with you guys on the phone, be recording my stuff, and taking you guys through what I'm doing for the full body workout. Like I said, I think full body workouts are pretty underrated. I think the only guy that talks about them or that does them is Alex Hormozy. Really like the guy. I think that dude's a badass, and gives out great advice. But I also don't think doing a full body workout is something that you should do every day like he does. But better than doing nothing, right? Like, I don't really care how you work out. I don't really care how you exercise. It's better than doing nothing. So Simba in our group chat yesterday sent a TikTok of plus size travelers. And let me preface this by saying there's people in my life that I love wholeheartedly that are overweight and potentially obese, but I'm so tired of people sugarcoating being fat and obese. There's nothing cute, there's nothing funny, there's nothing funny about it, okay? Being fat and obese is a serious problem, and saying you're plus sized to downgrade the severity of how negative being obese is for your metabolic and just for your metabolic health, right? Just for your health in general. And I'm not saying, obviously it's going to hit your, it's not going to hit. it's going to take a toll on your physical body, but also, like, I don't think it can be that good for you mentally, right? I think your mental and physical health they're not mutually exclusive. They obviously have something to do with each other. And I think downgrading being obese is not something that you want to do. I mean, the number one killer in the United States is from cardiovascular disease. And you might ask yourself, well, how do you get cardiovascular disease? What is it? Well, let me tell you something. For a fact, obesity does not help with it, okay? So, like, yeah, I feel like people want to downgrade the problem, the serious problem of the obesity epidemic in the United States. I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's, anything of the nature. I think it's a serious problem that people actually need to take seriously. You only get one body in your life. I think you should take care of it. Yeah, Simba. So I'm not on social media. YouTube is basically the first thing I've been posting on. And Simba sends this TikTok in our group message, and it's people talking about the struggles of being a plus-size traveler. Like, shut the and then you want to downgrade the severity of it like it's not an actual problem. And also the same thing with plus-size models. It's like, you're not a model. I don't understand it. You can be like, I don't know, you could be a societal, what would I say? A societal figure, I guess. Come on, buddy. And I like, just like I said to preface this, like, there's people in my life that are obese that I absolutely love. But, acknowledge the fact that, you would be healthier if you didn't hold so much fat. I don't mean to say that in like a negative way at all. Like, I genuinely think you would be happier, you would have more energy if you lost a little bit of weight. So that's what we're about to go do. We're going to go burn some calories in the form of weightlifting. And another thing, when I was a middle schooler, I remember reading a textbook saying that weightlifting is an anaerobic exercise, meaning that you can do it without oxygen. And I remember even when I was really young, I was like, that's the stupidest thing ever. Because if you're going to try to lift weights without having, proper breath work, you're not lifting weights optimally. So in order to lift weights optimally, or, with some sort of intensity, you need to have good breath work. And obviously, like, probably not for a 1 rep max, probably not that big of a deal. But I don't know. What if you're doing a superset mixed with a drop set, mixed with a little HIIT workout, and all of it is still weight-based? What about then? You think you're just going to hold your breath the entire time and do it optimally? No. Yeah. Knowledge of my 6th grade self. I remember wanting to raise my hand and tell the teacher, I was like, you're an idiot. You've probably never lifted weights a day in your life. Most teachers probably haven't, for being real. Got a little Monster. I've been drinking this since I've gotten off work. I don't know why, but I tend to drink my caffeine really slow. Like, whether it's coffee, energy drinks, and Monster is basically the only energy drink that I have. I'm a big fan of Monsters. I don't drink them all too often, but I enjoy them. Got a little bit left in here. Probably won't even finish it. What I need to finish, bang, my pre-workout, L-citrulline creatine, #gains. And it tastes so good. Blue raspberry. I think blue raspberry is my favorite flavor of any pre-workout. All right. Should I talk about my workout? I'm just going to take you guys through my workout when I get in the gym. I'm about to play some music, and I'll be at the gym in probably about 5 minutes or so. Peace. Spent the first 20 minutes hooping. Had to turn one of my favorite t-shirts into a tank. Mainly because the armpit part of the shirt was getting a little old. Changed, a different color than the shirt. So at that point, you just got to take them off, right? Dead hangs to start. First 10 minutes on the platform. So to start, we're going to do full body warm up for back pull-ups, and then we're going to do rows. Let's get to it. Ooh. 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 Oh. So once we start going on to dumbbells and barbell work, or even machines, I don't know how many machines I'm going to end up doing, but we're not going too heavy on anything. So this workout really shouldn't take too long because we're not taking long breaks. My wrist is bothering me. I feel like it's just like pinched right here. Ooh. Ooh. When I'm doing push-ups, there's a wide variety of kinds of push-ups that you can do and where you place your hands, right? General rule, the closer you go, the closer you bring your hands together, the more triceps it's going to be. All right, last set, and we'll do some rows. Ooh. 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 We're going to do 3 or 4 sets here, probably 2 sets with 3 plates, 2 sets with 4 plates, just single arm rows. Stretch at the bottom, round out your lat, pull. Nothing complicated. Ooh. 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 The only thing that I'd say to be aware of when you're doing these is obviously you want to round out your shoulder and get a deep stretch at the bottom, and when you're finishing, you just don't want to pull your shoulder back too far. You want your shoulders basically parallel with the bench, or the chest rest, I should say. We're going to go pretty fast on this too, especially since this is a single arm movement. Whatever side you're not working is inevitably getting a rest while you're still hitting your set. Stretch. Ooh. 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 Ah. Ooh. Probably pretty needless to say, but control the weight when you're doing it, right? Be cautious of the speed at which you're pulling at. You don't want to be pulling at 100 miles per hour. I mean, maybe if you're going as heavy as possible, but for the most part, you don't want to be pulling too fast. Not the ideal weight to show this with. Actually, I'm not even going to do it with the weight. Once you finish the contraction part of the movement, you don't want to let the weight just yank your shoulder down. Good way to injure your shoulder. Last 2 sets with 4 plates. I don't know how many reps, however many I feel. And then we're going to go on to legs. Ah. Ah. Finished with an odd number there. I feel like a psycho. And then last thing, so for the grips, 2 ways that you can do this. Right here, or have your hand flat, and when your hands are flat, you want to be pulling with your elbows more to your sides, or more out, I should say. And then when you're in like a neutral position, you want to be pulling right to your lat. All right, last set. Ah. Ah. Ooh. Yeah. All right, that's it for back. Put these weights away, go do some extensions. So we're gonna start light and then progressively go up. Just like basically every movement in the gym. I also really want to develop the teardrop in my quads. My legs have always been like pretty thick, pretty fat and juicy, but never like too defined. If I wasn't recording, I'd probably be supersetting the laying hamstring curls, but I don't really want to move the camera all that much, so we're gonna do 4 sets here, move on to that. Oh. Rep range for basically the entire workout, almost for every workout, is between 4 and 16 reps. But I'm never doing higher reps at the beginning of my workout, especially if I'm working a particular muscle and like I really want to break down the muscle. The first thing that I'm starting with is a compound movement that I can go heavy on. And then I'm going to fatigue the muscle until it's weak, doing, you know, heavy sets anywhere between like 4 and 8 reps generally. And then once the muscle's fatigued after that, then I'll start going a little bit lighter and doing higher reps, which is probably similar to a lot of you guys out there, or at least I would imagine. My legs have been sore basically this entire week. Starting on Monday, you know, doing sprints, haven't done sprints in a long time. You always got those like, a different sort of muscle fatigue, I would say, than working out. So did that. Didn't do legs Tuesday. They were just sore Tuesday. Wednesday, played more basketball. Friday night, up here going and hitting some legs. All right, let's make the last set a drop set. And also I'd say play around with where you want your feet. You know, like if you touch your feet together and then go up, it's a little bit different than in comparison if you have your feet like real wide apart. But do whatever feels good to you. And also don't think that if you have your feet in one workout and you have a great workout doing that, that you can't go wide the next week, right? Do what you want and what feels good. My knees don't feel great. That's all right. Go a little bit lighter. Keep going. I'm not going to violently breathe into the mic, so the mic is staying back here. Much prefer laying down doing hamstrings in comparison to like sitting. Also, the only other thing I'll mention about when you're doing these is if you flex your calves, so if you point your toes up towards you, makes it a little bit easier to do the rep, and if you point your toes out, makes it a little bit harder, more isolation on your hamstrings. I love this machine. I honestly don't know why I don't do it more. I've been thinking, so every time I'm in the gym, I do basically the full body warm up that I show you guys every time. But I've been thinking about doing quad extensions and hamstring curls every day and seeing if I can get my legs to grow a little bit. You know, if I was doing 50 reps of quad extensions and hamstring curls every day, would they grow by the end of the month? I don't know. Would they grow in 2 months? Probably, right? You would think so. So I kind of want to test that out, to be honest, because my leg days, you know, I can't really squat, can't do, you know, heavy leg press, can't do a whole lot of things. So quad strings, hamstring curls and quad extensions are where it's at for me. All right, last set, and then what should I do for chest? My right shoulder's a little bit tweaked, has been hurting me, so I'm not sure if I want to do dumbbell work. I haven't really decided. We'll think of something though. 4 sets of 8 are upon us. What could I mention about bench that would be helpful to somebody? How do I like to set up? I don't know, I feel like everything that I do is pretty common just because I've been doing it for so long, even though, you know, it might not be. One thing that I think a lot of people mess up on is when they start to struggle, they look off to their right or they look off to their left. I think that's probably a pretty bad idea, easy way to strain your neck. Keep your feet planted under you. I like to keep my feet basically under my hips and push off the palms of my feet. And the last thing I'd say, like, when you're unracking the bar, you don't want to be unracking it like over the top of your head and then bringing it real far like over your chest. You want to limit that motion. So like when I set up, I'll do it here. When I set up, I want to be able to press right here and then immediately start going. I don't want to set up all the way down here, press, and then bring it out, right? I want to limit this distance. The only thing you have to be cautious about is what I just did on that first rep. I nicked the side of this when I was going down. That's a really easy way to get like unsteady. And just like when you're doing push-ups, the closer your grip, the more triceps it's going to be. I like to keep my pinkies on the rings so I feel most comfortable pressing from, that I think about when I'm benching. Like how I decide like where I want to put my hands is when I'm down and the bar's on my chest, I want this angle, my elbows, to basically be at 90 degrees when I'm pressing. That's where I feel like I'm the strongest off my chest. And it's important, obviously, to get past your sticking point. Sticking point being from your chest to like, I don't know, the first 3 inches off your chest. I feel like that's where most people get stuck. Other than that, retract your scapula. And that's where you want to be pressing from. That's probably a big thing I should have talked about. So something I'll mention real quick. And I don't really want to hold the weight up and explain it, but retracting your scapula, I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say that.
it's how you should finish every back movement. Like imagine you're doing a row, right? And your back is contracted. That's the retraction you want to be in when you're pressing, when you're benching. Same thing. That's why I always warm up my back a lot before I go and do heavy bench. Obviously this isn't too heavy for me, so wasn't particularly worried about warming up my back all that much, even though obviously I did. But when I'm pressing really heavy, I like to get a good pump in my back. That way I have a more stable place to press from. All right, last set, then we're gonna superset some arms and get out of here. Go a little bit closer with this one, with this grip. Ooh. 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 All right. 4 sets of 8. I think that was less than 5 minutes, honestly. I'm gonna do 3 supersets, and they're gonna be tri-sets. Triceps, tri-sets. 3 different exercises: shoulders, tris, bis. Question is, what do I wanna do? I feel like shoulder press is a given. I feel like we're gonna mix it up, because I want to do some lateral raises and I want to do some rear delts. I'll do some hammers, do some regular curls. For triceps, what am I thinking though? I'm thinking dumbbell over the head pressing. How many weights do I need? I don't know. What's the rule with grabbing dumbbells? You can have 2 sets of dumbbells. You can grab a third, but you can't set them down. Ooh. 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 Dinner plates for sure. Wasn't even thinking about them until the middle of that set. Next set, lateral raises, regular curls, probably kickbacks. I feel like kickbacks are basically the only thing I can do with 30s, dumbbell wise for triceps. I just don't really like the single arm over the head press. I don't feel it that well, so I don't do it. Ooh. 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 Ah. Ooh. Ooh. Mm. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. 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 Ah. Ah. Ooh. Ooh. Mm. Ooh. Ah. All right, hammers. Ooh. Mm. Whew. I feel like I have cotton mouth right now. I just need some more water in my life, to be honest. Ooh. Ooh. One thing I like to think about when I'm doing kickbacks is don't really worry about the stretch. I feel like I don't get much of a stretch when I'm doing it. but focus on the contraction of the movement when you're finishing it. So when I'm going down, I dip my elbow a little bit. And you know, maybe not the best idea, but if you're able to finish the contraction in the right spot and you're able to feel it, then you're set, then you're good. We got one more set. Both bicep movements have been for, you know, the width of the biceps mainly. So next I'm thinking concentration curls, just to work on the peak a little bit. Not the best platform to do concentration curls on, but that's fine, all right? Just take the platform out of the equation. Stand up, bend over a little bit, and curl. All right, that's it with those. Close grip, you know, two ways that you could do these. I'm thinking either diamond push-ups or military. Military, hands are close. You just bring your elbow straight to your sides. Diamonds, harder. Make a diamond with your hand. Touch your nose. We're gonna do military. Need to wash the hands. All right, guys, that's the workout. Peace.
All right, let me share with you guys a little alpha post-workout meal. Not too alpha, just because I need a little bit more protein, but a little plate of beef. And what we're gonna do, bang, add some rice to that. Right? So we need a little bit more protein, but we're gonna dump A1 on top of that. Probably grab one of these Premier protein shakes. And then maybe a protein bar, I don't really know. What else do I have in here? I could do Oikos yogurt or a glass of milk. Haven't really decided yet, but that's gonna be the main meal. Gains. Finish the thought of why plus size models aren't models. What are models, and what are some of the things that we model as humans, okay? So take the action of modeling out of the equation, just out of your head for a second. Now let's talk about just modeling behaviors, okay? Because behaviors are something that you model. And what kind of behaviors do you model? Generally, you're going to try to model things that you aspire to be or that you're inspired by. And going back to the physical act of modeling for a second and why they're models is models generally, I mean, not generally, all models have good bodies that the average person aspires to have. And, you know, that might not be true for everybody. I don't think bodybuilding necessarily, I don't think bodybuilders are models. Like, I wouldn't want to look like the traditional bodybuilder. I don't think female bodybuilders that are on testosterone look good whatsoever. I think it's disgusting. But with that being said, let's just go. When I picture a model, I'm just thinking of a female that is in good shape, that has a nice figure, okay? And I don't even really picture guys modeling. If I think of that, I just think, I don't want to go there, okay? Let's just start with girls, because there's no plus size male models. You know, now thinking about it, I think it's only girl sized plus models, which is weird. And I really wonder why that is now. So back to modeling behaviors, right? Just for a second. you want to model good behaviors in order to become a better person, or we try to. You don't want to model negative behaviors. You don't want to model negative actions that people take. You don't want to lead yourself down a negative road. And I think that's exactly what plus size modeling is doing for people. I think it's making it acceptable and decreasing the severity of the problem that is obesity. Let's say you're 5'6", 300 to 400 pounds, and you're a plus size model. Does anybody aspire to be that? Is anybody inspired by that type of physique? Like, think about what you have to do to become that heavy, you know? Is there any discipline in it? Is there any responsibility? Is there anything positive that's coming from holding an excessive amount of adipose tissue? Is there a single thing? No, right? So why would you want to model that behavior? That's why I say, plus size models aren't models, because nobody's inspired by them, right? I'm not saying it's not acceptable to be overweight. It's not saying it's not acceptable to be obese, but acknowledge that there's a problem there. Don't just say, yeah, I'm obese and it's perfectly fine that I'm obese and unhealthy, right? That's not the right attitude that you take towards that particular thing. Like, if you are obese and you are overweight, just acknowledge that you need to lose weight. Simple as that. Don't just say, oh yeah, I'm comfortable, okay? And I think that's exactly what plus size modeling is doing, is that it's becoming more acceptable to hold an excessive amount of adipose tissue, when in reality, everybody knows that it's negatively impacting your health, which isn't a good thing, and it's not something that you should model. That's me completing the thought.